drop out. Volibear being the final ban. As we said, Diamond Prox, he just tore them apart the last time they met. It is sort of the flavor of the month, so to speak, in terms of junglers. And who is Gambit going to lock first pick for their...
I was about to say, why the hell have they banned Caitlyn? Because Yellowstar's been playing Misfortune the whole time. But they're going to use Misfortune as the first pick.
Now, Yellowstar and Caitlyn, go hand in hand. They've played... Yellowstar has played Caitlyn many, many times in the past. Has the ability to do very well. Kayle slipped through the cracks and has immediately been picked up. I mean, that was a 10-second turnaround. Kayle, Sona, locked in, end of story.
Yeah, they seem to be happy. Cyanide on Kayle did have it banned against him earlier on by Copenhagen Wolves, I believe. But as it is, it's going to be N-rated on Sona. So what will they pick up here? Oh, could be the horse.
Amazing. It
could be the horse for Diamond Prox. He's a man that can play anything. Yeah.
Attack. So Sona throwing out those healing auras at the early levels, it's going to be countered and mitigated so extensively. Have a quick look at the summoner spells, though. 3 ignites on the side of Gambit Gaming. Only the 1 ignite and 1 exhaust on the side of Fnatic, though.
You know what, Quick Show, when you start talking about impure shots, I have to actually look around at your screen to see what the hell you were on about. Of course, he does mean the W from Misfortune, just to put it in layman's terms for everyone else in the world, including, I might add, the pro players. Half the pro players we have on this analysis desk, when you turn and talk to them about some skill, they're like, what the hell are you on about? Oh, the W.
Yes, that is the one. The attack speed increase, and of course the reduced healing from Genji's Misfortune. A very passive start from both of these teams so far. It's just slow farming and CSing. Cyanide wants to give some love to Alexish, and we'll see if he can pull this one off.
Well, he's giving love to a ward at the moment, and just the bottom line, Alexish may well go a little bit forward. He has got the double buff on him. If he can catch on towards Alex, of course, hasn't got level 6 right now, has flash available, though. We did see in a failed gank from a Vi in the last game. As it is, Cyanide is stealing away the Wraiths just off the bottom of the screen, and you know what? Almost identical fashion you could come across round the back here. This is like Dignitas versus Moscow 5 right now.
Oh, what a flash!
Flash comes out from Alexish and avoids it, but that's flash burn. That's a successful gank.
Now, if anything, if we want to learn anything from earlier in the day, if you do attempt to go for another gank, make sure that there's no other escapes. Freddy122 secured first, but it's Diamond wants this one.
Oh, way too kited there. And Peke's just like, well, I know what's coming here. And just instead, lane tax.
Yeah, exactly. Just going to walk in there and, claim some gold, claim some experience and walk away. Yellowstar having a tough time in this bottom lane right now. Does have some potions, sitting 11 CS behind at the moment. So I think Yellowstar has already recalled the fact that he's spent some of that gold to pick up some pots. And the early level pressure coming out of this Taric and Misfortune lane is pushing them back.
He was sent back earlier, and you see the Dazzle coming out, flashed away Yellowstar there, so that means Flash is burnt already, so we'll potentially see a gank coming out there. Now N-rated, they're trying to force the flash out of him. As it is, he puts the power cord back on towards Genji, and they turn the damage back towards Edward as well. Edward forced away. Good trade between these two middle laners here, duo laners, as I should say. CS-wise, actually 36-23. That's because Yellowstar was sent packing early on. Mid lane, 38-23. Big advantage starting to be built up by Peke there. And remember, Flash already burned by Alexish. That can only get worse.
And of course, in that middle lane, Cassidy is going to be, he is expected to be behind, and at these early levels when those null spheres aren't, don't have as many ranks in them or ability power to back them up, it's going to be able to be mitigated relatively well by Xpeki. He does have that heal in lane. He has the ability to deal damage without needing to continually cast spells, and it's definitely one of the advantages that he's had. Also remember that Peke has taken Kayle into this middle lane in response to Cassidy being selected. So he had the ability to counter-pick if they wanted to send that Kayle into the jungle. And we'll see exactly how it plays out. He's putting quite a lot of damage down into Alex.
Well, we see Corki still getting some poke back and forward between Genji there, and Genji's going to get 3 extra shots on Yellowstar there, so winning out that trade once again. Certainly being a lot more aggressive, as we mentioned, back in Katowice. Certainly stepped up his game in Season 3. Gone, maybe responded to maybe a call from his duo laner Edward. I want you to be a little more aggressive in this lane. He was used to be captain passive, but seems to have gone a little bit more aggressive these days, in support of his AD carry, Edward.
And it's working very well. I mean, I would have given the early game pressure in favor of Yellowstar and N-rated in terms of, the poke and the burst that they can put down. But you know, support Genja. He's the one dealing the damage. He's getting the double ups, and he's keeping Fnatic literally defending.
Here we go. Ghost being used there, and he's managed to get the slow straight down. Alex Ich gonna try and get the damage down. He has got his ultimate available. There's intervention. Is it going to be enough? The tank's already coming down, but immediately comes straight across. He does pick up first blood. Stand United comes out. Can they turn this around towards Cyanide? Safety first, but in comes Soaz. He's going to try and chase around. Darian maybe caught out. The Wither comes down, just managed to flash through, and another great escape. No, Alex taken down by the Ignite. Cyanide forced to back away, but Soaz now coming out towards Darren. Forced another flash. Summoner spells burnt across the board, and it's still only the 2 mid laners that went down.
Cyanide just hit level 6.
He's
does have
teleporting
flash.
in the bush.
Is he going to be able to get it?
Soaz is going to come in. They're going to catch on towards him, and that is just dangerous, dangerous play. We talked about it in the game before, that these LCS players are going to have to start picking safer spots to recall, and he was stood on top of a ward, and Fnatic turning into a 2-for-1.
Cyanide sat under that turret. He tried to kill creeps as quickly as possible, as Enraged gets stunned up. They turn the pressure back onto Edward. This is the poke I was talking about.
The flash comes out from Edward. He has to back away here. Yellow Star has going to get, immediately goes in forwards, and he does take it down, but it's Enraged being the scumbag for once and taking the kill away from Yellow Star.
Enraged learning, taking a page out of the Thresh Prince of Almania's book, securing that kill with Sona as only Sona can do.
And there is the blue buff now being given across to Alex Ich. Of course, it was all about both champions hitting level 6 in that mid lane. Alex Ich and Peke, they both went aggressive the moment it happened. Of course, Ghost was burnt by Diamond, but all across the board, summoner spells burnt across everyone indeed. The question is, though, can Peke continue to keep the grip on the CS in this mid lane? 57-28 right now for, against Alex Ich, but of course, Alex, with that kill, will have picked up some of that gold advantage. Blue buff currently for both champions. We do see Peke continuing to pressure on towards the turret.
He's going to carry on chunking this down. He's got the cooldown reduction and ability power from that Fiendish Codex helping him out. And Cyanide doing something that Cyanide does very, very often. Peke might be in trouble, though, because Diamond's here.
Diamond's coming back around, and the slow immediately from Alex Ich there will manage to keep him back here. Wither does come down, gets the silence down, and immediately manages to catch him out. Peke being taken down very low. Alex Ich is going to flash across, and immediately Cyanide comes back in. Interventions comes down. They turn it back around on towards Diamond Procs there. Immediately, can they catch it? Cyanide, will he go for the turret dive? No, they won't, but it doesn't matter. Advantage was gained once again, and well, Fnatic turn another kill. Meanwhile, down the bottom, you can see actually in the try-bush, and Redding came around. I thought he was going to go for it instead. Edward does force him to back away.
Really, really well played from Fnatic. They responded to that pressure. It almost looked as though Soaz knew the gank was incoming, because he was moving from the tri-bush down. The moment Diamond Procs was seen in that lane, they managed to group up and secure themselves a kill. Intervention once again used at the exact right moment, saving Xpeke's life and allowing him to pick up another assist. All 3 kills have gone onto Rumble right now, and we're talking about Rumble and whether or not he fits in, whether or not he does well. But when you're 3-0 and you've got that Haunting Guys and an Amplifying Tome, almost Landry's Torment completed, you are a terrifying little yordle.
Double the CS currently for Peke, 33-66. He is working wonders in that mid lane, countering very heavily on towards Alex Ich. 2 ganks tried, 2 ganks failed for Gambit. How are they going to turn this one around? Of course, Diamond Procs, he's going to be a fearful jungler when he does finally come out there. Of course, you know, with the Nasus changes, gaining that Q, building that Q up. Let's have a look, see how much he's built it up so far.
In total right now, it's 30 base, it's single point into it, plus 160 damage already. There is plus 87 physical damage on each of those Qs because he is maxing it on those large monsters in the jungle. I do also want to point out those boots of mobility before that gank happened. The reason Cyanide was there in time, the reason he could help out, is he is flying through the jungle with those massive, massive movement speed boosts. A base movement speed of 447 right now. So he's just going to be, you know, closing in every single time there's pressure.
Well, we see Peke as well. He's obviously maxing out the Q, but he is doing the damage. It's actually a similar build we saw from Shushain. Again, they're going in towards Peke. This time the Wither should be enough, and Peke has got that intervention, has managed to use it, but is it enough? We see Cyanide coming back around there. Stand United was not enough. You can see Alex Ich, they could turn this into a double kill on towards Cyanide. It's Ed Diamond that's tanking the damage, but instead they call to back away. And well, Darian had to stand United in. Darian absolutely down to nothing. He kind of saved himself. Soaz, I think, was about to kill him.
Soaz is pushing the top lane tower. He's got a decent minion wave there, gets it down to about 20% HP, and does a very good job at continuing the pressure. Stand United used to save that middle lane, but Gambit Gaming 2 kills down and only 800 gold behind. So it works out about even.
And the damage actually done to Genja in that bottom lane as well. Yellowstar had put the pressure on there, so as he's took the turret down. So first turret goes down to Fnatic. That bottom lane is being forced away, but Yellowstar is going to back off. So Yellowstar actually turning it around a little bit down this bottom lane. The fact that Genja was being pressured has got the CS advantage still, but again, the big difference. Soaz leading out quite heavily on towards Darien now, has picked up that turret, but Peke is miles ahead of Alexic now.
Yeah, so far ahead. Mercury Tread's completed, so that's going to help him survive in lane, give him mobility to move around, set up ganks. No boots in the back pocket of Alexic at the moment. And I definitely want to point something out.
Tell a lie, he's only 200 gold ahead.
Only one assist on the board. There's a kill and an assist there, and Alex got first blood as well. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. But something that's interesting about Genja that I pointed out yesterday, he's bought the Avarice Blade again, and it almost always gets upgraded to the static shiv. But time and time again, we're seeing these AD carries pick that static shiv up first as the first item. Get that extra gold on every single minion kill, get that extra percentage chance, and Fnatic are going to secure a dragon completely uncontested.
Completely uncontested, 2,000 gold advantage, 4-2 in kills. Dragon down, turret advantage. Where are they going to turn their focus to? Looking like the bottom lane is going to continue down there, duo lane, and Soaz is just going to keep winning out that lane. Darien is spotted because he's stood on top of a ward, which is why Peke is purposely staying back to his turret. He does also have diamond procs around the wraiths though, so needs to be careful he doesn't get back around. We see just off the side there, Cyanide, he's going to come around to them wraiths and see they are disappeared.
Now, something again, I'm just taking a look at the numbers really quickly. That Avarice Blade has already generated 230 gold.
They're diving in towards Peke, has to use intervention. Cyanide does come back around. Voltbreaker on towards Darien. He flashes out. Peke is going to go down. Now they dive towards Cyanide. Use the Salt and Battery on towards Darien. Does manage to turn it into a kill. He's going to get taken down, though. It's a double kill for Alexic. And Diamond Procs happy to tank the damage to it. Soaz working his way down the river, but they are already hit and run.
Yeah, that Fury of the Sands, the ultimate from Nasus, is so powerful. Deals percentage HP magic damage over time. The entire duration that you're there gives him a massive chunk of HP. And you can see he's already building tanky items. He's going to be a difficult person to kill. His Q is Siphoning Strike plus 129 bonus damage on top of what the base numbers are already. So very good for them at the moment. Genja gets jumped on.
He goes straight in towards it. Valkyrie's in towards Genja, and a teleport coming in from Peke now on towards Genja. He gets exhausted down. They're going to turn their attention to Edward. Edward flashes out there and escapes it. Soaz was closing in. Does manage to use his ult on towards Edward. They're going to continue to chase this one now. Peke's going to take the damage, but Alexic comes in. He's going to go aggressive towards Yellowstar, in towards the turret. He has got Stand United now coming in. Darian's going to join the fight. On towards Peke. Peke's going to get dropped. Now they're turning towards Enrated. Enrated taking very low. They're hitting and running. Get the hell out of there. Edward just delaying them as much as they can. Soaz, of course, already used his ultimate. Enrated gets dropped very low. Shadow Dash. Enrated goes down. Now they're on towards Cyanide and Soaz. Can they catch through there? Yellowstar's trying to keep the tower down. He's hitting on that turret, but
Ghost
four members of Gambit continue to chase. Soaz, no, can't flash away. Shadow Dash will come out. Will it delay Soaz long enough? Alexic is going to close in. He's going to get the slowdown. Withers back on towards Soaz. Soaz in trouble now. He's going to go down, and multiple kills picked up by Gambit there. A great turnaround and read of the situation and showing how mobile their whole team is.
Fnatic should not have continued with the dive. They got the kill. It was enough. Soaz made the call saying, I'm going to go. Equalizes out. He was 3-0 at the time. He was fed. He thought he was very scary, but they just could not pick up that kill. And because they were so far overextended, they got shut down. Peke is currently 0-4-3 right now, working towards that Nash's Tooth. You can see him scratching his head there for a second, and you just think, how could you throw that away? Cyanide gets a very big creep wave at the moment, and you know, that entire gold lead, that advantage they had, is just been nullified. This game is completely even.
Completely even. I see it as an actual advantage for Gambit because the last 2-3 fights, they've managed to pick up the advantage every time they've gone back to back. Of course, that Stand United has been crucial, but Darien, again, working down this bottom lane turret. Soaz had took that advantage in the top lane, and every single advantage that Fnatic had built up has just been blown by those last 2 team fights.
Yeah, exactly. The gold is not there. The feed is not there. You know, everything is now missing. Alexic, who was 30 CS behind at one point, now has 4 kills and 3 assists. He is getting terrifying. Rod of Ages is already completed. Tear of the Goddess is slowly starting to be filled up. It's already at 404 mana additionally earned, and Aegis of the Legion has been collected as well. So all of that magic damage that Soaz's Rumble and Xpek's Kale is going to be putting down is just going to be mitigated. The minions do land that last hit though and pick up the second tower of the game for Fnatic.
So Runic Bulwark, I'm expecting to be the first major item completed by Diamond. I say major item, Aegis of the Legion is pretty major. I expect that to get upgraded though. I don't think he's going to do anything else other than go full tank right now early on. Fnatic trying to keep the pressure on towards this mid lane. Darian and Alexic clearing out that wave and just seeing that massive wave clearing potential that they do have. In the jungle, we see Soaz and Cyanide. They're going to try and catch on towards Genja. They do manage to catch him. They get him poked down, and Soaz is going to drop him down here. Cyanide's the one that picks up the kill. Genja, again, caught slightly out of position there, but I don't think they're going to be too worried about that. They might try and turn it in the middle.
To be 100% fair, he's right in front of his tower, so you don't actually expect so many, but the thing is, they didn't have that vision. There is 2 Fnatic wards in the red jungle there of Gambit.
They're going for bottom.
Knew it was coming. Fnatic are pressuring the middle,
ward.
And we'll see how Gambit do in this bottom lane now.
The ward spotted him out there. They realized Alexic was going to chase him down. Is he going to be able to rift walk in and get the slow on towards Soaz? He does manage to get him down there. Equalizer comes out from Soaz to try and keep them at bay. But Diamond manages to get the Wither down on towards Soaz. They're going to turn it around. They want to put the damage back on towards Alexic. Now they go towards Diamond. They keep the pressure back down. Alexic keeping the force down as well. Fnatic, though, all coming in. They're getting assaulted. Battery goes deep on the rift walk of Alexic. Stand United now coming out. Intervention on towards Cyanide. They're keeping the damage down, but now Cyanide's in trouble. You see Yellowstar joining the fight. He keeps the pressure down. Back and forth the action goes, but nobody goes down in the end.
That massive shield from Stand United, 550 damage at rank 2 without any ability power boost. Just, it completely kept Alex alive. They threw everything they had onto that Cassidy, and I love watching Assault and Battery track a target, even after the Rift Walk, just flying through the air with those massive, massive fists. It wasn't enough to get the kill. Gambit Gaming survived the gank and the pressure, but it was really Fnatic's fault. They were overextended, they got jumped on, and they did well to react to the pressure that Gambit put on them.
But while that fight went back and forward pretty heavily, they did get a good half of that inner turret down. The problem is there's a hell of a lot of ultimates currently down, and you can see Gambit making the move, going towards that dragon. Fnatic are reacting to this one. Peke is teleporting. He's teleporting into the back bush here by the red buff. Are they going to get round in time? Gambit are too working down that dragon. The dragon's gone down. They're turning to fight. Darian's the target, but Darian is very target heavy tank now, and he's going to get slowly dropped down. Cyanide's taken very low. Cyanide gets dropped. Alexic picks up the kill, but Fnatic are trying to turn this one around, chasing on towards Alexic. Crescendo comes across the rest of the fight there, and Alexic has actually still got away. Gambit finally goes down. Alexic, it was Peke that picked it up there, but they catch on towards Enrated. Darian, though, gets the support down. Now Darian in trouble. Yellowstar kiting him around. Darian's going to get dropped by Soaz, and now there's also a kill. They're chasing back around. You can see Peke coming just off the side here in towards the Tribers. Puts the ward down. Low on mana indeed. Edward forced to flash away. Back on towards Diamond. Prox walks into a ward. Gets the slow down. Puts the Wither back himself and keeps them pinned down. And now Edward, he's trying to back off, but he's going to get pinned down there. Soaz tries to get the slow down. The Rocket's just not quite catching. The final slow comes out from Peke. Dazzle's back on towards Peke. He's not going to be able to walk away from this one, though. Final damage will come out from Peke. He heals out. Takes him long enough, but he picks up the kill. I have no idea who really came out on top of that one. Gambit lost 3 members of their team. Fnatic, I think, lost 1, but Gambit picked up the dragon.
It was a fairly sloppy fight from everybody because the targeting was all over the place. You've seen Soaz and Peke running away, leaving Sona and Corki alone, 2 versus 4. Luckily, a lot of the Gambit members were fairly low in the fight, so they weren't really able to get a very big advantage. They carried on fighting as Soaz and Peke came back into the fight. They were able to close it out a little bit more, but it felt fairly sloppy all over the place. Diamond's going to clear out those that camp and probably just come and help defend this middle tower.
Well, the burn on Genja there. Actually, I think the advantage did go with Fnatic because Peke picked up and ended the killing spree of Alexic, which gave him a huge bounty, 500 gold
Gambit got the
bounty
dragon,
there. They did get the Dragon, but it was a 3-for-1 with a big bounty. Oh, I tell you what, it's pretty even, and I think Peke is going to be happy with the fact that he picked up some kills out of that one.
Well, there's something we have to touch on. Going into that fight, there was this big peak in power. We've seen the Warmog's armor being completed on Darian Shen. He's got a Zeal in his back pocket, which makes me think he's going to go for a Trinity Force, which is something very important. Runic Bulwark has just been completed a moment or two ago for Nasus. Over on the other side of the coin, Ryla's Crystal Scepter completed, Nash's Tooth, and a Sheen has now been picked up for Expected. They want this blue.
They're going in for it. They have the ping ward down, and Edward immediately dazzling Peke there. Cyanide comes back around. He can smite it away, and he will smite it away. Alex H not being given that one. That's going to slow his cooldowns and his mana. Can they chase on towards this one? They did pull with it on Peke there. He is stood in top of a ping ward, but they're not going to go aggressive. Instead, everybody steps away, takes a breather, and gives me a chance to refresh my lungs.
Now that Wither is such a powerful ability. It is the ability that's being maxed second for Nasus. He has 5 points into his E, the Spirit Fire, 4 points into Wither. At this rank, it is slowing by up to 83% at max. It increases over time. So the longer you are effective by it, the more powerful it is. And you've seen how slow Expected was moving there in the jungle as soon as it got thrown onto him. And a champion like Rumble, like Vi, like Kale, that need to be in your face, need to be there, you know, continually attacking to deal damage. It's an extremely effective ability in these team fights.
I wonder what happened overnight that's really spurred these players on. You know, we had a really slow start to the League of Legends Championship Series. We're just shy of a kill a minute right now, but the action definitely hotted up today. It's been pretty frenetic between both teams, and as it is, it's just crazy, crazy pace. And Fnatic have been involved in 2 of them. They already had... Oh, and it's going to be a dive, and it's going to be Stand United coming out. N-Rated is going to have to use Crescendo, but he's not just about to get it out. Is it enough? Alex H is going to get dropped. N-Rated finally goes down. Bullet time, it's not really going to work out there because Cyanide had the intervention on him. Darian has to get out, and it's Fnatic trying to turn this one around. Diamond taken down very low. Edward with his ultimate running is only going to survive so much longer. You can see Cyanide. He's going to take the turret damage. He picks up the kill as well. It's a 2-for-1, and another great exchange of support for a mid laner.
And don't forget they got Edward as well.
Yeah.
That Crescendo locked up 4 members of Gambit Gaming. The Stand United came in, and the second Shen's face appeared. And Rated said, nope, don't want none of that. Stunned them up, locked them up. Fnatic win the fight. They take the tower potentially here.
Potentially going for the inhibitor turret, but Soaz gets caught out. Stand United comes down there. Genja's going to pull the damage down on him from Rage. It looks like Soaz is going to go down. Genja picks that one up. They can pursue on it. Strut's going to kick in a moment. A great shot from Yellowstar, but it's not going to slow them down. Wither will be available any moment now from Diamond. They're going to get towards the turret, and Peke just gets that little speed. He has got intervention back available, and they escape. It was a 2-for-2 overall, but it was an inner turret and half of the inhibitor turret taken down. Gambit want to try and turn this a pressure for a Baron fight.
They're going to try to pick this Baron up as quickly as they can, but there are members of Fnatic around to defend it. The pressure is on Gambit, though. You can see Edward is coming up for their guaranteed Dazzle Stunner. They've gone on Expected.
They managed to catch down Peke. Wither goes down. The Dazzle goes on him as well. They're going to keep the damage down. They're going to force that intervention out. Can they keep pressuring it down? Alex H is going to keep on towards Peke. Peke realizes he can get away. Hasn't wasted his ultimate either. Has disengaged very nicely. Just enough time for Soaz and whoever else is going to get back. I can't even count. It's Yellowstar that was in there.
So nicely done. The amount of pressure that's coming on here. I think the teams got together and decided they wanted to kill the shoutcasters because they are not letting us get a breath. It is just aggression, aggression, aggression. Got a quick lull in the action, and I want to touch on that Avarice Blade again. It has been in the back pocket of Genja for the entirety of the last 16 or 17 minutes. It has earned 571 bonus gold on top of everything else with all of the GP10 and with the additional kills. So it is a very, very interesting number right now. Nasus's Q, his Siphoning Strike, it is still rank 1. He's going to start ranking up, so the base number is 30. It adds 107 based on his attack damage and 207 on top of that extra. So in total, 340 damage per attack at rank 1.
So he's definitely building that up. Once he starts getting that to rank 5, it's going to be a scary, scary Nasus tank wall that comes in. So Fnatic surely have to get this game finished and won. But the question is, can they do it? They are 4-0 up in turrets. That's a huge, huge advantage in terms of map objectives. But it's 12-11 in kills and still only 4,000 gold. They just picked up the Dragon, but honestly, the gold lead is not as big as you would expect when it's a 4-0 in turrets.
Yeah, it's really, really close. The fact that all these killing sprees have been going back and forth. The thing is now, Alexish is up in the top lane. The rest of Fnatic are grouped up here. Are we going to see a dive? Enrated and Soaz look like they want to.
They're going to go for that inner turret, and they're going to pick it up. As Gambit realized they had to back away. They are going to finally pick up their first turret of the game, but Alexish may need to react to this one. We have 5 members of Fnatic pushing in towards this bottom inhibitor turret. There's the top turret going down. He's teleporting back. Fnatic are going to realize it. They're going to try and pressure before he gets back here, but expect to see Gambit turn and burn the moment those home guard boots are activated for Alexish, and they do immediately push back on there, and Fnatic disengage just at the right moment.
There is still no boots on Enrated. He's playing very, very brave, hanging around there in that lane. He's just got that Ruby Sightstone, the Ruby Crystal, and 2 farmers. And it does look like the rest of Gambit want that tower. Fnatic might, dare I say it, try backdoor.
Gambit have got mid here. Gambit are going to go straight into mid. And as you mentioned it, Fnatic do turn around. They're like, well, you're going to push him for all that mid. We're going to try and run for that inhibitor turret. Soaz has got enough to tank it up to start with. Maybe they're going to try and get a poke back and forth, see if they can get any sneaky kills. Not going to happen, though. We do see Diamond's going to come around the side here. Going to poke them back. And again, they keep the damage away from him. Shen has stayed in the middle. So Darian is actually keeping the pressure on towards that inhibitor turret.
Split push, Shen doing what he does best. He's going to be able to join the party with that Stand United, almost level 16, so almost approaching that ultimate, you know, that the rank
teleport.
3 on his ultimate.
He's going in towards mid turret. He's on towards the minion, and actually he's going to try and put the pressure on towards Darian, forces him away and protects the turret, but that's a teleport used, and immediately Crescendo had to be used out, as well as Equalizer on towards Alexish. Easy for me to say, but it doesn't catch them down, though, but it's another couple of ultimates used and a teleport.
Yes, Summoner spell gone, as well as those cooldowns on the ultimates. Fnatic are just warding up this jungle. There's still no Oracle's Elixir there in the hands of Edward, so he can't clear it out. They tried to get it with a big one, but it doesn't steal it this time.
Not going to get the steal. Genja picks that up. They tried to get in there. We also see the blue buff now going to start being contested. Cyanide in there. They're trying to disrupt Alexish. The rest of Fnatic coming around. Everybody fighting for small, tiniest little global objectives on the map. Blue buff, it seems to be it. Darian hanging around, making sure nobody can get in and smite this one down. And they do manage to give it across to Alexish. So, how is this working out, Trevor? I mean, this is just a pretty lively game between these two powerhouses that we expected. 2-0-7 currently for Diamond Prox. He's kind of been leading the charge in terms of ganks coming out of that jungle.
Okay, well, take a look at the gold. You can see the numbers on your screen. We're relatively even for the most part, with the exception of Soaz being a good 1,000 gold ahead. Yeah, a couple hundred on the AD carry of Fnatic. So for the most part, they're relatively close. But when we look at the items, which you're going to see, Genja has gone for his secondary defensive item. It is a very powerful defensive item. It's a second Bloodthirster. So 2 Bloodthirsters and the Avarice Blade on his side at the moment. You can see that Darian is working towards his Trinity Force, but the big difference in terms of items right now comes in our junglers. You've got an Aura jungler from Diamond Prox with that Aegis of the Legion that has been upgraded to the Runic Bulwark. Cyanide, on the other hand, has got a Warmog. So great, Cyanide is very, very tanky, but he's not making his teammates tankier right now. In addition to that, you have Wither and that Spirit Fire from Nasus, which is going to have a very big impact on the entire enemy team. So you've got a big difference in terms of both of those roles, and we'll see how it plays out when we get to these bigger team fights.
Well, we do have an Oracle from Fnatic here. Cyanide has just used it. He's clearing out all of the Baron pits. So Fnatic looking like they may well try and create a play here. Will it be towards that Baron? Will they try and force an objective? They do, of course, have 5-1 in turrets. Alexish looking to try and get a cheeky push on towards Cyanide there, and Cyanide forced to just dash away. Trying to get collapsed on by Diamond, not going to happen.
No, not this time around. They are just in this tentative moment where both teams is waiting for someone to overstep. Both teams are waiting for that little bit of over-aggression or, you know, being caught behind enemy lines without the proper vision or positioning. We still do not see any boots coming out of Enrated Sona. He's relying on his E, the Song of Celerity, to keep his movement speed up in these engagements. But we do see a Locket of the Iron Solaria being picked up for Edward. So that extra shield is going to be there, which is so powerful.
Double Bloodthirster picked up by Genja. This is something we've seen from him before as well. And he's making sure he keeps that lifesteal pretty high.
Yeah, it's actually insane right now. He's got both of them. The first one is fully stacked. The second one has got 3 stacks on it. 37% lifesteal right now before the fully stacked up secondary one. So we'll see how high that gets. Diamond Prox, on the other hand, he's got 3 ranks into his Q. The Siphoning Strike is down to a 6-second cooldown. And it is currently hitting, if my math is correct, around 500 damage.
Second turret of the game for Gambit here, which is A little crazy for me to say at the 31-minute mark. Gambit just picking up their second outer turret. That middle turret being protected very well by Fnatic. And, you know, all the crazy, strange dives we've seen at 4 minutes, not really working out for either team, but it is Gambit that are slowly clawing themselves back. So, quick shot. We're coming into 31 minutes. We're probably going to hit the 40-minute mark in this game now, I suspect. Who has the stronger late-game team?
I think I'm going to have to give this one to Gambit right now. In terms of how their composition is set up, Nasus is going to become almost unkillable, and his ultimate is his siphoning strike, his Q is going to be on a fairly short cooldown by the time the fight. You know, the longer the fight goes, the more damage he's going to be putting out. In addition, you've got the Stand United shield from Shen. You have the auras that comes out from Taric. So I feel like they're getting more and more powerful. There is a great composition from Fnatic, but it's extremely reliant on landing those crescendos. And Diamond Prox, he might find a death bush.
He's going into the death bush. It's going to be enough, though. The right person to go in there. Stand United comes out. Bullet Time manages to land everyone, but it's an assault and battery on towards Genji to disrupt him. But Cyanide now, he's taken very low, having to get out of this one. Darian, oh, and Alex each gets in, gets the force pulse. Maybe puts him down, but Peke comes around. He gets on towards Edward. Cyanide taking very low. The triple kill! Picked up in one single force pulse. Quadra kill comes out. Peke so low. Could we see the pentakill coming out from Alex Hitch? He's going to pursue this one. Darian comes around. No, because Peke comes around and just steals away the pentakill. It doesn't matter, though, because it's an ace for Gambit Gaming, and they're going to go for the Baron.
That is exactly what I was talking about. The Stand United manages to save Diamond Prox, comes in, follows it up with a 3 or a 4-man taunt. Immediately after that, you have Taric joining the party with his armor aura, with his ultimate, with the Locket of the Iron Solaria. It was just such a decimation from Gambit Gaming. And remember, they were the ones that were caught. They were the ones that got jumped on. 3 members of the team locked up by Crescendo. Fnatic simply couldn't pick up the kills quickly enough.
Baron kill picked up. They're going to go straight in towards the middle lane. And as it is, they are going to take down its outer turret as well. So that's the 3rd turret of the game for Gambit. 16-13 in kills, 5-3 in turrets. Such a close game right now. 33 minutes gone. I don't believe how much amazing games we've had this morning. It's been absolutely brilliant here in the League of Legends Championship Series.
Yeah, it has been non-stop the entire time. Immediately following that Baron, Gambit Gaming pick up a tower in that middle lane. That's tower number 3 for them, and it looks like they're busy setting up for the Dragon. So they should be able to pick this one up, but Fnatic are moving in to defend. If Fnatic can pick this up, it'll keep them relevant gold-wise, but that Baron buff on Gambit has just put a big pause on any plays that Fnatic are going to want to make.
Well, we don't have Volibear playing, so the big paws are not quite in the game, but... sorry, I can't resist right now because I've not been able to get too many puns in because the games have just been amazing this morning. I can't tell you how excited I am. I'm 4 energy drinks in so far right now. It's been a pretty high-paced action, and I'm starting to get a little bit hot and heavy as we get 34 minutes into this game. Gold advantage now with Gambit. It has been with Fnatic for most of the game, so power shift definitely starting to get shown here. We see across the board the gold advantage. It's really onto Genja and, of course, Alex Hitch. Alex Hitch has been instrumental, 9, 4, and 5, but every single one of those kills has been set up for him by Diamond Prox, by Darian. It is all working out so well. And, well, Gambit on the push, on the charge once again. They all have the Baron buff. What are they going to make advantages of this one? They've got 2 minutes left on this Baron.
Yeah, it's very difficult for Fnatic to break through this front line right now. They jumped into Diamond. They put a few abilities onto him to try to secure the kill, but as soon as he throws his ultimate on, then gets that Stand United shield, and any single target from Gambit that gets caught out is going to have that massive shield from Darian. Because of all the gold that they earn from Baron, from the farm, and etc., you can see Arandian's Omen has been completed for Diamond Prox. So now not only does he have all of those extra auras and, you know, the armor debuff, etc., he can now remove the movement speed, the attack speed from his opponents. Alexish has got the Zonya's Hourglass, the Seraph's Embrace, the Rod of Ages. He is hitting
Edward's
so
going to get caught.
hard.
No, he's actually caught on towards the Peke instead. He's had to use that intervention very early on to try and prevent the damage. Is it going to be enough? Crescendo comes across through the bushes. Peke doesn't have flash. He is going to get taken down. It's Alex Hitch that picks up the kill. Now we see them turning on towards Yellowstar. Yellowstar pops under the turret, and it's going to be Genja that picks up that kill. Diamond, meanwhile, 2v1 pushing. He's going to come around. So as it's actually on the turret, he isn't going to get dived on there. Going to go push for the middle turret instead.
Yeah, they've got minions coming up, which Genja is trying to move even quicker. Diamondprox is just going to face tank it with all of that HP and armor that he's got. It's barely going to scratch him. They got very good wave clear with that Nasus here, and now they're going to carry on pushing onto the inhibitor turret. There's simply not enough members of Fnatic to defend this one, and it looks like the first inhibitor of the game is going to go to Gambit Gaming.
Gambit Gaming do get in, they get the inhibitor turret down, they get the inhibitor. They could, you know, turn and push straight into this one. They were actually pinging on the Nexus turrets there. Instead, they're going to go for that inner turret of the top lane and maybe even things up. It's 5-5 in turrets right now. They're going to push it to 6-5.
6-5 in turrets. They've got the gold lead for the first time. It's considerable in a while.
Diamond's already on it. He's like, hey guys, I'm kind of tanking this. Everybody else, get back here. They were taking golems instead. They weren't worried about the giant creep wave that is coming in, and that's going to be another inner turret down. Fnatic have all respawned though, so they should be able to defend this inhibitor turret out.
And again, now the Baron buff is just about to wear off. The time has just about run out, and it's super creep down the middle lane. Fnatic are completely locked on their half of the map. Alexic just outright picks up that Void Staff. And we see down in Tariq's side, he's actually completed his Mercury trades. Still no boots for Enrated. Still no movement, additional movement speed for that Sona for Fnatic.
Genja farming up by Fnatic's base. He's that confident in his pure vision of the entire base, because you can see all the wards across the river, all the crawl wards across them in jungles of Fnatic as well. And Fnatic are just having to defend out every little wave. 10-4-6 currently, Alexic, but all of those kills have just been set up perfectly by Darien, by Diamondprox, by Edward getting the stuns. It has just been following up the damage perfectly.
And very interestingly, out of Soaz, he's got the makings of a Rabadon's death cap, so he's gone pure glass cannon AP Rumble right now. Rylai's as well as Leandry's, and just going, you know, super damage. On the other side, you've got Trinity Force, Warmogs, Double Giant's Belt, and Ruby Crystal. I mean, that's a Darien Shen that has 4,500 hit points right now.
Yeah, and the Trinity Force.
Tons of damage.
Tons of damage to go with it. We have a Warmog's already on there. He's stacking himself up. We got a Randian's Omen. We got a Bruni Bulwark. We got another Giant's Belt on Diamond. There's just so many hit points in that front line that Genja is just feeling just perfectly, you know, impenetrable. He's untouchable because anyone goes near him, Edward's just going to dazzle them. So as it stands right now, Gambit are in a very strong position, and Fnatic are going to have to pull off a perfect engagement to win a fight.
Yeah, they need to kill either Castanet or Misfortune quickly.
There it is, Crescendo. Is it going to be enough on towards Alexic? Equalizer comes out. They do manage to get Assault and Battery, but the Zonya's Hourglass from Alexic turns it straight around. XPK does use his intervention, but Cyanide, he's going to try and get her own. He flashes through, but Gambit Gaming can follow this one up. It's going to be N-rated that gets focused on Soaz. Caught out where he stands. He gets dropped. It's Diamondprox that picks up the kill on that one. Alexic hit and run, but they're going to get on towards Peke. Peke trying to get on towards him. Bullet time comes out. Isn't enough? It catches him just as he steps on the fountain. Alexic takes him down. They're on towards the Nexus turrets, and Gambit Gaming are going to take away the victory here against Fnatic. They're 20-13 up in kills. They were so far behind in turrets, but